Welcome back to the Chorizo Bros show, you guys. JoJo back at it again with another book review. We're closing out October really strong right now, you guys. This has been pretty fun, pretty awesome. I might have one more in me before October is completely out, but we'll see when we get there. Now, we're going to do something a little bit different for this video. I didn't feel like being on camera today for no other reason than that the animals kept coming in and out of the room, and I didn't feel like dealing with them today. I thought this would be much easier for me, and hey, it's okay to switch things up every now and then. So today we're going to be talking about Sabrina. Sabrina is a graphic novel that was published by Drawn and Quarterly in 2018, written and illustrated by Nick Drnaso. Drnaso's sophomore effort brings us one of the most unsettling graphic novels that I've ever read. I would go so far as to say that it's one of the most unsettling stories I've ever read. Period. Now, this one is a strong 4.5 out of 5 stars. It would be at 5 stars, but there are a couple of caveats to recommending it to most people. I would want everyone I know to experience this story, but I have a feeling that because of the slow burn nature and art style, people are going to tap out early on in this novel. Drnaso's style is unique and minimalistic. Simply drawn faces and backgrounds force the reader to find the details and the frames and pay careful attention to the dialogue. The reader is almost being dared to get bored because of the mundane kinds of conversations the characters have and how most scenes are showcasing day in the life stuff for average people. This feeling gets derailed early on in the story when the titular Sabrina goes missing. We follow her sister Sandra as she tries to deal with losing her sister. Sabrina's boyfriend Teddy doesn't take her disappearance all that well, and he ends up staying with a childhood friend, Calvin. Calvin ends up being one of our main characters. He does his best to get Teddy out of his depression, making sure he's fed, washing his clothes, and the like. He seems to be keeping things together until it's revealed that Sabrina was not just missing, she was murdered. Now, that's as much as I feel comfortable talking about without going into spoilers. So basically, if you can dig down and let yourself feel for the characters and are in for a slow burn, you will not regret checking this out, you guys. It gets tense, unsettling. It's a different kind of horror. This is the horror of real life. There's nothing supernatural about this story at all. As stylized as his artwork is, it feels extraordinarily grounded. These feel like real people with realistic, though tragic problems. So, yeah, almost a 5 out of 5 stars for me, except that it isn't really accessible for most readers. Now, if you want to hear more about this story, either you've read it or don't care at all about spoilers, let's talk a little bit deeper about it. It's revealed that Sabrina was indeed murdered by some mentally unstable guy that lives a block away from her. There doesn't seem to be any specific reason that Sabrina was targeted. He was known to be active in message boards and pages about politics and even bodybuilding. I almost get creepy incel vibes. He'd sent out a video of the murder, and police did their best to prevent the tapes from leaking, but the internet got a hold of it, and all of a sudden, the story shifts because people online start to believe that there's some conspiracy associated with Sabrina's murder. People begin to think it's some kind of setup. Meanwhile, Teddy, Sabrina's boyfriend, is rotting in Calvin's spare bedroom. Calvin goes to work and Teddy lays around in his underwear. He doesn't eat, he's inactive at all. He discovers a radio in Calvin's place and he starts listening to a radio show. The radio host is like a Alex Jones type. It seems like a lot of the words in this novel are attributed to the radio host, rambling on and on about this made up conspiracy and about what may have happened to Sabrina. And Teddy's in bed doing nothing else but soaking it all in. Up until that point, it's been shown that Teddy is mentally unstable. So much so that Calvin hides his firearm. He's afraid of what Teddy might do with it. Calvin is dealing with a difficult home life with the mother of his daughter. He's playing with the idea of accepting a promotion, even though it means he'll have a harder time seeing his daughter, whom already doesn't live with him. It's all pretty normal stuff. Until someone from the news wants to talk to Teddy, and Calvin gets mixed up. They get him on camera saying he knows something about Sandra. He accidentally says Sabrina's sister's name. The internet goes wild. Now, Calvin is the target of these conspiracy theories online. He starts getting threats. They go so far as to send him mail saying they know where his family lives. All the while, Sandra is dealing with the trauma of her sister's murder. And then on top of that, people are saying these awful things about her sister, like that she's a crisis actor. Now, that is the meat of the story. It's heartbreaking, it's tense, it's a little too close to real life. Now, this came out in 2018, but there is something really eerie about reading this in 2024. How on point Drnaso got this. I remember all of the fallout that Alex Jones got from the Sandy Hook stuff post pandemic. If you were anything like me, you saw some people you know and love, respected even, go off the deep end with conspiracies. Everyone was so scared and unsure, and it didn't bring out the best in a lot of people. This felt so realistic, it was scary. The story is punctuated with Calvin's medical survey for his Air Force job. It has questions like, on a scale of 1 to 5, what's your stress level? Is this interfering with your ability to do your job? That kind of thing. It asks if he wants to talk to someone about it. And he, of course, marks no, but he probably should be marking yes with all the things he's got going on. I got documentary vibes from this. It was almost like someone was a fly on the wall in these regular people's lives. Now, I haven't looked at anything else drawn by Drnaso, but I suspect that he can draw quote unquote better than this. But this, in my opinion, was styled like this with the intention of feeling mundane, not flashy, not show offy. Simple, precise, and to the point. Now, I cannot remember the last time a story had me on pins and needles like this. It really has you as a reader guessing what's going to happen. Is Teddy going to freak the fuck out and hurt himself or somebody else? Is someone going to make good on the threats and actually do something to Calvin? Force him to come clean about being involved in this Sabrina cover up? I loved this graphic novel. I will probably read more by this artist. I encourage you all to check it out also. I wanted to stick with horror novels for pretty much all of October, and while I don't know if I would consider this a horror story, it's definitely scary. Now, this story cuts deep to the bone. But if you get bored easily and are not interested in a very real terror, I would skip it. But for anyone that's excited to read something new, you're probably really going to enjoy this one. That's about all I have for you guys. I really appreciate all of the time that you took to check out the Chorizo Bros show. Not just the book reviews, but also our movie tie-in stuff also. We have more content coming your way soon. Rocky 2 is next up on the list of movies we want to knock out. I think Jeremy's going to be sitting out on that one, and we have a never-before-seen guest joining us for that. So I'm going to get out of here, you guys. Thanks for joining me today, and leave some comments, like, and subscribe. Thank you.